First of all, hello everyone. This is my very first time going live. So bear with us as you see real life happening. I am here. This is live. What we're doing right now is I am here in case anybody wanted to have any questions. I'm also here for any new customer um, who's right on the edge, would love to order it. They're not sure why. If they had any questions, why did you do this? Why did you create this brand? Any type of brand story questions, any formulation questions, any workout questions. The purpose of this call was hopefully that people would attend, and then I'd be able to address, some stuff. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to at least tell people a little bit about me and how I started this brand. I am a supplement professional. I started this supplement brand. Actually, I started my supplement company in 2008. I come from the supplement business where I started in 1993, which makes me old. I'm one of the OGs in the supplement industry, have helped many successful brands, have made brands for Costco, for Sam's and their private label programs, worked for the largest manufacturer, headed up the whole new product division. And when it was time for that to depart, I decided to start my own company. And I still do business to business. I still help other customers. But one of the things that I do is I review science. And when I saw the latest science on amino acids in 2017, I wanted to get an exclusive, thinking I would go out and market this and build my business to business with other sports companies, with other fitness and supplement brands. But I then decided, you know what, I'm going to keep this for myself. And so I launched a brand called Amino. We did a soft launch in 2018, just trying to get a feel, get the product in the hands of trainers and professionals. And then a year later, we actually did the hard launch. And when I call it hard, that means hard cash, real money involved, have to invest in advertising and marketing. Not just in paying money for the ads, but someone to produce the ads, someone to run the ads, someone to do the media buying, someone to do all that kind of stuff. So we did a hard launch in actually it was, I remember, July 2019, and we started getting sales. And we started growing a little bit each month. And then 2020 happened. And everyone understands and remembers 2020 quite well. COVID hit. And then, at least in America, everything shut down. And at that point, I thought, oh, this is the worst timing in the world. But what happened was people embraced Amazon. People started buying their own weightlifting equipment. People had more time at their homes and then their home gyms. And we started growing. I still think we would have grown if we had gyms open. But at the time, we went through COVID. It was built for COVID. My team was all working remotely anyway. I had people up in Canada that worked for me. I had a key guy in Ohio. So they were all working from their homes anyway. So I hate to say this, but Amino was built for COVID, and it worked out great, and we grew this brand. And we've grown this brand. And we now have a bunch of really good, loyal customers. We do have a very good program, Subscribe and Save. Is what Amazon calls theirs, but we call ours BFF. It is a subscribe and save, and people say, why BFF? What the heck does that stand for? Well, it stands for Best Friends Forever. And I'm not trying to sound like a teenage girl. By the way, I did raise teenage girls, or I should say, teenage girls raised me. I don't know. But our core, when you come up with a company, you do the mission statements. What are your values, core principles? And one of the ones that came, because we were trying to personify who were the best people in our lives, who was the best salesperson you ever met, and what did they have in common? They treated everyone like they were their best friends. They knew their spouse's names. They knew birth dates. They remembered stuff. And you literally felt like he was your best friend every time he called. And so I said, you know what? That's the culture I want for Amino. I want us to treat people as a best friend. Not like is ingenuous, but as a best friend. And I harp on my customer service team all the time, and my logistics team that actually ships the products out to people. And I know our cutoff is like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but let's say you got an order and it's from your best friend. What would you do? You would pack it and you would drive it to the post office yourself to get it out on that same day, even though the truck's already picked up all the postal stuff on your scheduled route. So that is part of our culture. So if you ever talk to Rupert in customer service, that's what you can expect from him. If you ever get a call from me, because I do like to reach out to customers. I can't do it every day. I can't even do it every week, but I do set time to actually talk because I want to learn from you guys. So I do that. And my advertising team, even though you never see or meet them, I just let everyone know here is our culture. If you want to be part of the team, you have to basically sign up for this. This is the behavior we expect from people. So our BFF program is free shipping, regardless of how big your order is, tiered discounts on top of that. You will get you start off at the silver level. You will get cash back building in your account for future purchases. And along the way, the more you buy, you're going to get some perks. You're going to get some gifts. Your third order, you get a gift. Your sixth order, you get a gift. And you graduate to gold. And then after the gold, you're going to get a gift. I think it's at your 20th. And it's one of my favorites. It's actually a workout towel with our Amino huge logo on it. So you can have that in the gym with pride. It's bright red. No one's going to mistake and say, hey, that's my towel. You know, it's pretty cool. The stuff we give out is, I consider top-notch stuff. So, and again, when you go from gold to platinum, you get more cash back value. When you go, so unfortunately, it maxes out at platinum after a certain amount of orders, but it comes with concierge service. If you're not tech savvy, and by the way, we make it easy. 3 days before your order, you do get a little reminder. So you could say, whoa, I've got too much Amino on my hand. Or I'm going on vacation. I want to pause. I want to do this. I want to set a new date. I want to change flavors. I want to change stuff. That's all within the tech. That's, I think, pretty easy. But even a person like me sometimes just likes giving a call or sending an email saying, hey, by the way, I need to pause. Can you please resume it in October? And again, if you call, someone actually will pick up the phone. I believe it's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 days a week. But don't tell anyone. We even pick up phones on Saturday. We just don't announce it or promise it, but we do have someone there. So if it's ever an emergency on a Saturday, something went wrong, you can't find it, there is someone who you can call. So we do things old school that way. We actually want to engage. We actually want to have phone calls. I want to have a phone call. I like to call people after their second order. If a few months go by, I'll call and just say, hey, how did it go? Did you like the taste or not? You know? And we even have people who say, you know what, it doesn't work. And if that's you, if anyone says, I'm not sure it's going to work, we also have on our staff a guy named Kenny. Kenny is a certified fitness instructor, or actually certified personal trainer. And both he and I work out. We don't work out at the same time, but he is educated in this field, is also a graduate student, but going for exercising the mind as a psychologist. But really good guy. And if anyone ever wants guidance of best way to use Amino and what type of workout you might want to do, give us a call. I personally get to talk to NFL, NBA athletes. I talk to their trainers. I talk to world-class athletes and bodybuilders, including one with the nickname Doc, because not only is he a professional IFB card-carrying pro, he's also a surgeon. And so I always think that's kind of good bragging rights that he gets the science. I shared the science papers with him. He understood it. He loves it. He thinks it's best for him that he uses it not pre-workout, he uses it intra. And speaking of which, if you look at our label, it says pre, intra, and post-workout. That's because we have scientific evidence that when you take Amino before a workout, it's going to improve your workout and your recovery and your muscle synthesis. We also have that same evidence intra and post. And believe it or not, we have that same science on your rest days. So Amino works, and really what makes it work is the ratios. Not all amino acid products have all 9 essential amino acids. BCAAs, they only have 3, and they are the branch-chained aminos, and they're awesome. We have them in ours, but they work so much better when they're the entire family of essential amino acids, not just the branch-chained essential amino acids. But it's really the ratio. How much leucine do you have? How much lysine? What's the ratio of isoleucine to the valine, to the histidine? And because personally I'm going to share a little bit, I do have diabetes. It runs in my family. It's something that does not define me, but it does give me my personal opinions. And based on my life, I think sugar's poison. So why would I ever put sugar in my product? So we went out of our way to do the expensive stuff. We use monk fruit, we use stevia reb A. At one point we had sugar alcohols in it. I didn't have a problem with it, but a certain amount of people did. And again, when you listen to your customers, you need to respond. And I did do the research, and sure enough, there's people who get GI distress with certain sugar alcohols. So we removed the sugar alcohols to have even a cleaner label product. And personally, I know hydration's important, and if you're going to have a powder and it's hydrating you with aminos, why not add electrolytes, but not just cheap salt? So we added the 5 key sports studied electrolytes. You will get sodium, potassium, magnesium, sorry for the mispronunciation, calcium, and you're going to get chloride. All 5 of those have been studied, and I think just our electrolytes in amino alone are almost worth the price. And then on top of that, we add adaptogens from Ayurvedic medicine in India. And basically what an adaptogen is when your body's under stress, it needs to adapt. And there are compounds that help adapt to stress. It could be mental stress. It can be physical stress. These herbs, these 3 key adaptogens, highly studied. They are constantly being studied by my partner, who actually owns the company that makes and manufactures those extracts. And in fact, here's some of the latest science. Who would have known, but the adaptogens found in amino actually promote healthy gut flora. It's not a probiotic. It's probably a postbiotic, if anything, but guess what? It's going to help your gut health. There's not another sports brand out there who can say that. So along the line, I can tell that we had up to 4 viewers here. I want to thank you here. At any time, I'm not sure of the technology. This is my first time going live. But if you had a question, you can pop it up, and maybe April can read it to me, and I'll be happy to answer anything. But I started off with just me and April on the phone, or actually in this live, and I just started talking about my company and kind of like why I've done things the way I've done things. But if you do have any questions, and I also want to know, if you have never purchased Amino, but you followed our posts, you might have even gone to our site and put in your cart and then said no. We do have a special deal for anybody who hasn't purchased our product before. And I do need to say that this will be recorded and probably put on YouTube. I'm going to keep this live as long as I can. But the other offer that I'm putting out is a limited offer for anybody who actually is a customer of Amino. And I'm date stamping so everyone knows today is July 9th, 2026, that I'm quietly opening back our 4th of July promo code. It kind of ends with the, with that seasonal aspect of having a 4th of July weekend sales event. Anybody watching this today and for the next week, which would be the 16th, don't tell anyone, but I'm keeping that live so you could save 25% just for joining and hearing this yourself. And that code was freedom. One word, freedom. That's going to be live for another week. And I'm only saying it here on this video and this video on YouTube. It is time sensitive. But if anybody for coming to this site, I want to thank you for your business. Most of our business is repeat.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, hello.
Hey, there's someone commented
Oh,
named Neil Barnett, and he asked if do you suggest 2 scoops for pre-workout?
yes, I do. And here's what I also suggest is the for pre-workout, we have both caffeinated and stimulant-free. Most people don't have stimulant-free, and by the way, that is our bestseller. I love the caffeinated, but make sure you have one of each for versatility because I get cranky if I don't work out. So if all of a sudden it's 3:30 and I have caffeinated 2 scoops of caffeinated amino. And by the way, each scoop, it's only 100 milligrams. It's pharmaceutical grade, so it's highly purified, consistent, and standard. And again, I'm going a little sideways. Some people say, well, why did you put in, that kind of caffeine? Why didn't you put in matcha or this? And that the science behind that is when you look at natural sources of caffeine, it's like 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30% caffeine. What's the other stuff? What else are you putting in your body? And does it compete? And a lot of times it's things like ash, and I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. So I put in pharmaceutical grade caffeine, only 100 milligrams per dose. So 200 milligrams of that caffeinated before a workout, in itself, that's going to give you a lot of energy. There's studies just on caffeine. But again, if it's too late for me, my cutoff time for caffeine is like 1 or 2. Otherwise, I'm not sleeping. But yeah, I think 2 scoops pre-workout works out great. And that way you also get to put in more of the stuff in the fluid. And personally for me, I actually take, in fact, here's my own mino right here. I fill this thing up 2 scoops. I also sometimes add creatine if I'm in the mood for it. I'm not currently. But this is my leftovers from my workout because I sip on it before the workout, I sip on it during the workout and after the workout, and then I do a post scoop. So I end up taking 3 scoops a day. But I know a guy. I get a good deal on it. That was humor, by the way. If anyone's chuckling, thank you. The jokes are for free. And that was perfect, April. Anyone has a question like that, interrupt me and I will answer it. And I apologize, I probably was a little long-winded. I should have just said, yes, 2 scoops is great. So, I did mention creatine. We do have a creatine. And by the way, creatine isn't just for workouts. The science behind creatine is enormous. And I see Lewis just joined on us, or at least he popped in. Hi, Lewis. I recognize your name. I think you're one of our BFF members. I think you've been out there for a long time. Some reason your name just popped up on the screen over on this side, so welcome. But our creatine, and first of all, I'm going to take another step back. When you see an amino product, we only have 9, but there's commonality behind it. And it is what I call my line in the sand. 1, real science. And real science doesn't mean mice or rabbits. It's real human clinical data that's peer reviewed. Hopefully it even has a crossover aspect, but real science. Step 2, that real science, is it backed by a patent? And will that patent holder license it to me? And then 3, you add that all together with formulations and what I can add to it. Can I be the best? And that's what Amino is all about. It is science driven, it is patented, and it is the best based on the ratios to give you the results that you will see. And some people say, well, how will I know about the results? Well, there's a thing called progressive overload. And if you're really working out, because you do have to work out, even though this is great on rest days, that's assuming you did a workout and you need some support in your recovery. But progressive overload means that you are either adding plates or adding reps on a regular basis in your workouts. And when I first started way back in 2017 and mixing up and playing with flavors, I was taking this myself. And literally, here I am 6-7 years later, I am either adding plates or adding reps to one of my muscle groups every single week. Not every single muscle group am I able to grind out the extra rep. And by the way, that's the recognition of strength. So you need to get strong before you can build muscle. It all comes together in a cycle. So I did want to take a little step back on telling people when you see an amino product, what it stands for, science, patents, and formulated to be the best. Because what I can't do is I don't have $48 million to spend on advertising, marketing, influencers, Kardashians, and all the stuff that my competitors do. Those are huge, large organizations that's not us. We're a niche brand. We are a multi-million-dollar brand, so I'm proud of that, but we are nothing like that. And I really don't have the wherewithal or the energy to spend $48 million a year in advertising to make this a household name. It's not about being a household name. It's about connecting with good customers like Lewis. We have a host of people. I actually look at the order desk every single day. By doing that, that helps me be grateful. And I think part of everyday life is people should have gratitude. And so I make it a purpose today. In fact, I saw 2 new orders, 2 new names that I didn't recognize, and it's always fun to get the new customers. So welcome. I think one guy was named Gary and one guy was named John. Your order got packed because I actually hand write or hand sign and usually do a little PS on cards on your first order. Again, most people don't do that. Again, they take the route of spending $48 million. I would rather put a little bit more of my time, energy, and hospitality and make people feel welcome. And like I said, if you didn't get it earlier, I do take calls. There was a period where every Friday we would have the phones put me in. We have a call service, customer service team of multiple people, but I would be in the rotation every single Friday. I don't do that anymore. Maybe I should, but I do make weekly calls at different times for different occasions. And I do want to connect. So if you ever get a voicemail, it's going to say, hey, it's Michael, founder and CEO of Amino. That's really me, my voice. We don't even have one of those fancy auto dialers or anything. I just go into this program, I click to call, it calls, and then it's on my phone, and then I pick it up. It's really me behind the phone if you ever get a voicemail from me. And if you ever get a voicemail from Rupert, he's awesome. He is here to help, especially if you're a BFF. He comes along with the concierge service. And again, if you're a BFF, or actually anybody who says this doesn't work, I have a personal fitness trainer named Kenny, who's awesome, who will take 20 minutes of your time on us. You don't have to pay him. He'll go over your workout. He'll go out your frequency. He'll review your recovery dates, which a lot of people don't even have a recovery plan of what to do after you work out a muscle group. He'll give you the best 20 minutes of your life, and you put that into play with Amino, and will help. So I do want to recognize the elephant in the room, and that is taste. I've been told by many people who used to buy competitors that we taste awesome. I guess, and I could tell you this firsthand as a developer, amino acids kind of taste like dirt. They're not very appealing. Then you add an Ayurvedic, adaptogenic herbs, that kind of tastes funky too. So we do our best in flavor profile to make it taste as good as we can. That's why we've got 2 flavors. So if you're disappointed with the tropical, give us a call. We'll make available a berry for you. And even if you don't like the berry, because there's some people who just don't like anything, that's my oldest daughter, Jessica. Jessica, if you're listening, Daddy says hi. That's why we have capsules. And what makes the capsules good is there's no taste. You just have to take 6 capsules, and people go, well, why so many? Well, amino acids are not a milligram vitamin-like product. They are a component of protein. So you need it in grams. And grams end up being a lot of capsules or tablets. An example is that multivitamin, if you take one, is probably 1,200 milligrams. Well, it's going to take a lot more than 12 or 1.2 grams to be effective in whether you take our Amino muscle synthesis activator, our flagship, which we sometimes just refer to as Amino because that's what everyone knows us for. But we also have a world-class patented nitric oxide product with 3 different forms of arginine. We also have an incredible fat burner, which is a multi-approach of how to actually really burn fat, and it works exponentially. The longer you take it, the better it works. And then again, we've got a patented creatine that's both monohydrate and hydrochloride. And some people go, why do you do that? You know, the monohydrate's cheaper and there's lots of science. And I said, it's also kind of hard on the gut. And it has one metabolic pathway. So yeah, we go out, and it's not about cost, it's about our approach. And the approach is based on science. Let's add hydrochloride. They both have science that it's effective in muscle volume. It also has all the new studies, you know, in cognition and brain health and actually brain injury. If you have a high school student playing football, get him on our creatine, both as a preventative concussion measure, and if he does, let us know. We'll give you a great deal, and we will have your son or daughter, we'll get you a special deal. If there's any concussion, by the way, I'm a big proponent of youth sports. If there's any person who takes it who has a son who does play football and they do get a concussion, call Rupert, schedule a time directly with me. I will give you a killer deal to get as much of our creatine into his body to get the benefits of concussion protocols and hopefully get him on the field faster and stay on the creatine anyway. Again, any football players or anybody that has, and I even say this about cheerleading. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I had daughters. Cheerleading is actually the most injury-plagued sport in high school sports because you're either being thrown in the air and possibly dropped, or you're the person throwing them in the air who's getting kicked on your way down. More concussions happen in high school cheerleading and competitive cheerleading in general of all ages than football. So again, if you have a kid who ever gets a concussion, we are not a drug, but I do know the science that they've studied these conditions. If your kid has that, we can have relief, and we'll bring our price down for you per bottle, get you lots of bottles so you can really take care of your kid. So along the line, April, I see that we still have about 5, maybe 4 people. Looks like we've got up to, we have 3 current viewers. If there's anybody else who has a question, and actually, I'm now learning this tech. I'm learning this tech as I'm doing this. If you see me looking here, this is a big screen where I can do this and look. 13 minutes. Do you suggest 2 scoops pre-workout? We went over that, and yes. And then Lewis is saying he takes the 6 pills before. 6 pills. Lewis, maybe you're the one who just can't stand the taste of anything, and that's the whole point why we have the capsules. And by the way, capsules are great for the type of athletes who don't want to get waterlogged. We actually have Pete Peterson and his wife who are huge in Muay Thai. They actually run the largest international competition of international championship for Muay Thai fighters. And he and some of his colleagues in the Des Moines area, yeah, hard to believe, the biggest tournament is in Des Moines, not Thailand, but Des Moines, and people travel all over the world to go to Des Moines for this championship. I actually sponsored it one year, and I'll probably sponsor it coming up in 27. But Muay fighters and the fighting community, they're always spitting out water. That's where the capsules really work. You take it with the minimum amount of water, and you're getting that same benefit. And by the way, you are still getting electrolytes. You're not getting hydration because you're managing your hydration when you're either sparring, working out, or actually fighting. So good for you, Lewis, taking the 6 before. Personally, I take the 6 stimulant-free every single night that I'm active, because when's the best time for recovery? While you sleep. Now, Neil asked a question, do you still do protein shake post-workout as well? And the answer to that is absolutely not. Because your body, I would wait, and if you wanted anything post-workout, it would be Amino. Because with protein, you're going to get a lot of amino acids, but your body has to digest it. there's a term called protein utilization. And when you do a big 34-gram protein scoop, your body's only going to process into muscle synthesis about 30% of it. When you take Amino, you are going to get 99% utilized in your body because it's in a free form, not peptide bound. Free form is better utilized in your body. It's going to be absorbed. And because it's in the ratio specific for muscle synthesis, you're going to get 11 times more effective dose. So our dose actually ends up being equivalent to that 33 gram of protein. Now, I still do protein powder, and I do it as a snack, meaning there's sometimes I'm hungry before lunch, so I'll do it. But I always make sure that real protein, real food, real digestion, I personally wait at least an hour and a half. So that's my answer to you, Neil. And again, and by the way, this is just free advice. Not all protein is the same. It is dietary. Calories are calories, I guess. But whey protein is way more effective at muscle synthesis than pea protein, than soy protein, than plant-based proteins because of its amino acid profile. Every protein, whether it's steak, eggs, chicken, powders, supplements, it has a thumbprint of amino acids. And what we've kind of done is if we could have invented our protein any way we want, what would it look like? It'd be exactly what's in Amino. So it's basically an engineered protein that your body doesn't have to digest and break down those building blocks to get to those amino acids. Because when you get protein, you get the essential, semi-essential, and non-essential. So you're getting things that are going to be great for your hair, for your skin, for your nails, for your connective tissue. We put all that aside and say, you know, that's great. That's what healthy eating's about. What we really concentrate on is muscle synthesis. And by the way, sometimes people call it muscle protein synthesis or protein synthesis. All three of those terms are synonyms. You'll see it in scientific papers. It's kind of like saying autumn or fall. It's the same thing. So that's where we are on that. I see that we have, I think we still have 5 people. I saw that someone loved something we said. That was 18 minutes ago, I think. So Neil is on our BFF program. That's great. And you receive 5 containers, caffeinated. Great. It's easy to change a couple. Is it easy to change a couple to non-caffeinated and or some pills? Yeah, no problem. Why don't you email us at orders@omino.com, which is OHMINO.com. orders@omino.com, and say, hey Rupert, I was on Michael's live event today. Here's how I want you to change my orders going forth. And then tell him what day you want it to ship and how many days you want that packet to ship in the future after that. He'll do that today. He could go in right now to your thing. He could do it for you. And this is what I mean by concierge service. If you don't want to figure out technology, and I don't blame you, have something else with another password you have to remember, just call Rupert. He can go on and do anything that you ask the way you ask. And by the way, it's coming. And again, this is from Conversations. We are in process, and it will take a while to do an upgraded BFF subscribe and save where it's mix and match. You don't have to buy 5 items of one thing to get the big discount. You can spread it out. You want to get up to 30% and buy the 5 items? You can buy 2 of this, 1 of this flavor, that flavor. You can combine it into our whole mix of products and get that scheduled. It's not live yet, but it's something that was asked for. It was something that we researched. It was something we talked with our vendor this Monday, and it's something that I passed to my developer, Adrian, who's awesome. And it's something we are working on, and we're probably going to have that done by mid-month. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because it's almost mid-month right now. But in July, that will be accomplished. And if you get our emails, I've got a great email team that helps me with that. Victor will be setting up an email to all our BFF explaining, and I might even make a Loom video just to show you how it works type of thing. But again, If you don't want to go online, you don't want to click a button, you can email us, you can call us. And one thing I noticed, and this is just a little note for April, I'm not sure the phone number we have on here is accurate when we set up our Facebook Meta account. So good thing I'm doing this live. I think we have a different number, and we'll work on that offline. So, and Neil, you're very welcome. I see that you said thanks. And again, we're here to serve. Rupert's a great guy. Give him a call. He works from, if you want to call or an email to our orders, he basically is our customer service manager who has his hands in every single point of connection. And we're thankful to have him on our team. So, if there is a topic of the 6 people that I think we have online right now, again, I'm new to this technology. We might have had some people leave, or, oh no, that was at 0 hour. And bear with me, I mentioned this is my very first live event. I was encouraged by Emmanuel, a new team member that we're bringing in to help us with our Meta and our Google, a step up from where we've been before. We're very excited to have Emmanuel, and he just said, Michael, just go on, go live. He goes, you don't have to have it scheduled all the time, but get better at it the more you do it. And so far, I guess I've got stuff to say, so I've been saying it. So, one thing I want to talk about, if anybody here is new and has not tried Amino yet, and I mentioned this earlier, we have a bundle, a welcome bundle that is an outstanding value, new customers only. You only get to use this once, but we're going to get you our caffeinated tropical. We're going to get you our berry stimulant free. These are amongst our best sellers. We are going to get you our stimulant free capsules. And then on top of that, we're going to give you a free creatine, because creatine is not just for workouts anymore, but it's highly effective. We're going to give that free. We're going to give you a free shaker. It'll either be black or red, depending on how much inventory we have when the orders come in. We're going to give you free shipping. And we're going to give, so you're basically paying for 3 items, but you're getting a free creatine. That's a $39 value. You're getting a free shaker. That's a $16, $17 value. You're getting free shipping, which is probably going to be about 14 bucks. So that's a lot of savings. It will be only $160.97. However, when you go to our site, you're going to get a pop-up, and it's going to ask for your email and phone number. If you give us those, and by the way, if anyone's online and you love our blogs and you love the emails that you get, we do not bombast you. We do not send 6 emails to you every day. We determine the people who like our blogs. We keep score, and we will deliver our blogs. We'll deliver content to you. And our content isn't just we're going on sale. We only go on sale like 4 times a year. So we will give you those promotional sales, because if you like us, we want you to save some money. But we will talk about the right way and wrong way to use a kettlebell. We will explore the myth, no gain, no pain. We will actually put out things you need to be aware of if you are thinking about GLP-1. We will give you real content backed by real science. And that's the type of emails that we do. We want to add value to your life, not just commotion. But when you sign up, guess what? That 160 bucks, you're now going to get 20% off of that too. So you're going to get a tremendous value. And April, I don't know if you flash it on the screen or if you flash it in the comments, but if you can please put the link for any new customers. Here is the link for this incredible deal. You are going to save about 40 bucks on creatine, 17 on shaker, so that's 57 bucks, and this is almost like 60, 70 bucks off.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, April.
Just wanted to pop up. Adrian already answered to your question. there isn't a way to force a product only purchasable for new customer.
Okay.
So it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can
It's
I
this,
begin?
this deal is for everybody now. We're trying to do it for new customers. You know.
Nice.
What? Did I misunderstood?
That's awesome.
Did I misunderstood? You're just saying there's no way to make a new customer that, and I'm okay. This is a deal. It's my first time live. I wanted to be generous, so this is for everyone. So this is for you too, Neil. This is for you, Lewis. And so if you take advantage of this deal,
Awesome.
yes. Okay, so anybody who's online, you can get this deal, and if you're one of our BFF people, order the deal, then contact Rupert and say, by the way, my next shipment, push it out a month. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a great deal for coming to my live event, first one, and you now know that you can call or email orders@ohmino.com, ohmino.com, and just say, hey, Rupert, please push back my my next order because I'm taking advantage of this deal. You don't even have to tell them why. Just say, hey, just push that back 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Tell them the exact day you want it to ship. His system, we actually can do that. You say you want it on August 28th. No problem. He'll do that for you. One of the benefits, and again, I've talked about this before, in case someone new on the line, our BFF program, Best Friends Forever. It's a great program, free shipping regardless of your order size, great discounts. You get cash with each purchase. As you do more, you're going to get some free merch, some free gifts. You're going to jump up the amount of percent that's going to build up in your account for future orders, for future stuff. And it comes with, great customer service. I mentioned Rupert by name. You want any changes, you call during our office hours. You call during or email. He'll take care of you. And even if you email and it's not in his hour, as soon as he gets to his desk, he'll make that change and then email you, hey, confirmed, made the changes you asked for. So now, if there is any military, active or retired, any first responder, active or retired, you are my guys. I think you guys are heroes. In a fire, when I'm running out, but still helping people out the door, you're running back in. You're putting on a gun, you're taking shot from enemies, you're serving versus building a career and helping us out. You add all that together, you're a hero. We have a special program for you. People ask, do you have a military discount? And what we have is a military program. It is a discount, but it's specific to you make a commitment with us, we'll make a commitment to you. We will get you 30% off your subscribe and save BFF products, even if you only buy one. You don't have to buy 5. We're just going to give you the best discount that we ever give or can give. It's going to be ongoing. All you have to do is schedule, order what you want, schedule it in the BFF. So if you are one of those people, military, first responders, active and or retired, let us know. And I forgot to add, frontline workers. We launched the product right when COVID hit, a little bit before, but we were just getting started, and we understand nurses and doctors and paramedics and the people who literally take care of us in our biggest time of needs. All you have to do is reach out to us and say, I want to be in the BFF service program. We will send you a link for you to fill out your name. We want to know what branch. We want to know where you served, how you served. We want to get to know you better. We will send you a form for you to complete. And then when you fill in that form and it comes to us, you will get a special link to a protected environment just for military, first responder, frontline workers. And it is an honor system. We ask you to fill out the form and tell us where you served. And again, hats off to you guys. I have a passion for this community. As well as I said earlier, I have a passion for youth sports. And again, anybody who has a kid who gets a concussion, or you yourself gets a concussion, and in youth sports that tends to be football and girls cheerleading, let us know. We will reach out to you. We will get you a really good deal so you can take care of your kid with our product. So we'll help you. We will bring down the price dramatically based on the injury. And again, we are not a drug, but there is science that shows how creatine can be effective in the protocol of treating it. We do not treat disease. My attorney says I have to say that, but there is, you yourself can look into the science, head trauma, concussions, creatine, and see for yourself, and we will help you out in a marketing heavy discount for you if you're in that protocol. So guys, I have been on this call now for 48 minutes. I think it's time for me to wrap things up. The two things for everybody here, we've got the deal that you can see. But thanks for joining us. Thank you, April, for putting that out there. It's our July promo pack. This will be on this video if you're watching it on YouTube. I'm going to keep this active for a while. If you see this 3 years later and it doesn't work, I'm sorry, but we're going to keep it active for a while. The other thing is just for the remaining month, secret, we're keeping our July promo running. And that discount code for 25% off is FREEDOM, FREEDOME. No E, bad speller, FREEDOM, FREEDOM. We will keep that active. So again, time sensitive. If you're seeing this and it's no longer July of 2026, that code will not work. So if there's anybody who has a question, I would love to answer it. If anybody else there, and if not, I am going to just wait a little bit longer. I drink this stuff too, guys. By the way, I've got a great compound movement that I did this morning called BFTs. Buy, fly, tries in one movement. So you get, the term is called, why can't I think of the term? I talked about progressive overloads, but this is, constant tension. You start off really tight with dumbbells, 45 pounds or whatever, and you push up, and when you get to the end, you extend. So you get the tricep in there. That's the B for BFTs, the bicep press. Well, not bicep, I'm sorry, the bench. But really close in so you get the tricep. And then get the little at the end. Then you do the fly. Then as you come up, you twist and you do the extension. And that's one set. By doing that, you're actually hitting your triceps twice. You're hitting your pecs twice. So if you actually did that 3 sets, you're actually getting 6 sets for your triceps. I love compound movements. It's something I've been studying and working on just because if you're like me, I enjoy working out. I get cranky if I don't, but at the same time, I don't want to be at a gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've got my own workout routine. I like supersets, and my BFT is something that I kind of invented myself. I've seen people do maybe 2 in like a compound movement, but I wanted to put in 3. So anyhow, I'm Michael Maynard, founder and CEO of Amino. For all the people who already take Amino, thank you. We are grateful for the business. We are a small family business. For those who are considering or on the fence, we just gave a tremendous offer for you to sign up. Click. I don't know how we're going to do this on YouTube. Maybe it will be in the description, but we'll figure that out. I got some smart people who help me with this stuff, like April. But if you're new, give it a try. If you're hesitant or you tried and you didn't think it worked, reach out and ask for an appointment with Kenny on us. Kenny is a personal fitness trainer. He is very good at what he does. He's a good guy. You would like him anyway. He's the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with. I will pay for a 20-minute consult where he'll talk about your current workout, your strategies of workout, and how teaming that up with Amino and the right Amino, and maybe if you had some duress because of flavorings before, we don't do sugar alcohols. That was, we got out of that maybe a year, 2 years ago. So if you're a past user, think it didn't work, reach out to us. We'll help you with a personal fitness trainer. We'll get you a new a pack. Talk to Kenny. Ask for me. I don't make calls all the time, but I do make weekly calls on different paces. I'll probably get back to doing it on Fridays. But with all that said, I am grateful for my current customers, especially my BFF customers, and my future customers. God has blessed me with a great team that helps. He's blessed me with, first of all, an incredible family. Just so you know, I'm a father of 2 daughters who are now moved on. I'm now the empty nester, along with my wife of 29 years. So, small family business. Would love for you to try us if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you. Take care.